Welcome back, guys, to another video. In today's video, we will be looking at local housing market inventory of three different market tiers. We'll look at luxury market tier, the middle market tier, and lower market tier in hopes of illustrating how these recent economic and political changes have impacted the current housing market. So if you are an active or a passive buyer or seller seeking to gauge what's happening in the market, you definitely want to stay till the end. Before we jump in and look at housing market inventory data, let's look at some recent trends. Number one, right now, as we speak, this is Monday, April 28th. The price of gold is up by about 35 to 40%. Right now, gold is selling at about $3,300 an ounce. Now, historically speaking, when prices of gold goes up, it's usually indicative of the fact that there is uncertainty in the overall economy where investors are pulling out of the treasuries or the stock market is super volatile. So people look for other instruments to hedge or save themselves, especially when the dollar value has gone down. So that's happening right now. Number two, we are still uncertain about the future of tariffs. We've heard the current administration talk about applying tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China about 3 times right now, and then they've paused. So there's that uncertainty of what's gonna happen to cost of goods in this country. And number three, interest rates. Interest rates have not dropped. As a matter of fact, right now, interest rate for a conventional mortgage of 30 years is about 6.875, give or take, depending on where your credit score is, if that's the average rate in this country. A lot of people were expecting the rates to drop this year, and that has not been the case. As a matter of fact, they've gone up a tad bit from the beginning of the year. So there you have it. A lot of changes have happened in just a span of 3 months. We've seen the stock market go up and down. A lot of different things happened. Before all of this, we were sleeping, dormant, cruising, and now all of a sudden we are awake, wide awake on 3 Red Bulls. And usually when a lot of change happens all at once, what happens? People get scared because they're doubtful of what's gonna happen next. And that's what's happening in the market right now. If you're getting real value out of this video, please do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are about the current housing market. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, we're gonna be looking at 3 different markets to help us understand what is happening in all 3 different markets with the recent market changes. So we're gonna look at an upper tier market, which is the market of Fremont, California, here in the East Bay area, where the entry-level home, single family home, starts at about 1.4 million. Then we'll look at the Hayward market, which is also part of the East Bay area. And a starting home there starts at around 900 to 950. And then we'll look at the Tracy market, which is considered the valley of the Bay Area, which touches the Silicon Valley. And it's about 50 minutes to an hour away from Fremont. And homes here start at around 700,000. So first we're gonna look at Fremont. Single family homes. In March 2024, there were only 36 homes for sale versus 89 homes for sale in the March 2025 of this year. Moving forward, last year, there was about half a month's of inventory, and this year we have about 1.8 months of inventory in March of 2025. Last year, March 2024, the average days on market was about 9 days versus 11 days on the market in 2024. Not much of a difference there. Now we're gonna stay here in the same city of Fremont, but we're gonna look at condos and townhomes. In March 2024, there was about 49 condos for sale. This year, in March 2025, there were about 94 condos for sale. So a significant jump in the amount of condos that are available this month. In March 2024, there was about 1.5 months of inventory last year when it comes to condos. And this year, that inventory is almost doubled, where there is about 3.1 months of inventory when it comes to condos. In March last year, average days on market was about 13. And this year, average days on market have jumped about 21 days when it comes to condos. Significant jump there. Now, moving forward to our second tier, middle tier, the city of Hayward, single family home sales. Last year, in March, there were only 12 homes for sale versus this year, there are about active 78 homes in the month of March 2025. Last year, there was about close to 0.8 months, less than a month inventory available. This year we have about 1.4 months of inventory available. Still significantly low inventory, but higher than last year. Then we have average days on market. Last year was about 19. This year is about 13. So average days on market have significantly decreased when it comes to single family home sales in Hayward. That means that homes are still selling very quickly, even though there might be a lot of homes available. The good homes that go into contract sell very quickly. Now we're gonna look at townhomes and condos in this area. Last year, 26 condos were for sale in the month of March. This year, 79 condos, significant jump. Last year, 1.8 months of inventory when it comes to condos. This year, 4.3 months of inventory available in March 2025. So a significant amount of condos are available right now. Last year, average days on market for a condo was about 19 days. This year, it's decreased to 12 days. I know it's kind of a wacky number. You're thinking, well, there's 79 condos. Why is there 12? Well, like I mentioned earlier, the homes that are showing well and that are going into contract are selling very fast. You do have more options, but once it's in contract, it turns really fast. So 19 days last year, 12 days this year. Now we're gonna look at the city of Tracy, which is the Valley of the Bay Area. And we're gonna look at single family homes here. March 2024, there were about 44 homes for sale. This year, you're looking at 143 homes for sale, which is a pretty significant jump in the amount of homes that are for sale right now in the city of Tracy. Last year, 2024, 0.7 months of inventory, which is just shy of a month inventory available. This year, 3 months of inventory is available right now in the month of March 2025. Now, it seems that number is high number, but that number was at 3.4 months in February. So that number is sort of decreased a little bit in the month of March. Now, if you looked at average days on market, last year homes were selling at about 32 days. This year, average days on market is 25. Again, the similar trend here. The homes that are going into contract, the homes that are showing well are selling very quickly. So 25 days on market for homes that go on contract. Now, I'm not going to talk about condos and townhomes in the city of Tracy. The city of Tracy is more of a farming / agricultural. There are a lot of single family homes, but it's not an urban style area. So you don't have that many condo sales here for me to talk about. Now, you're probably wondering, why is there more inventory coming on the market? There are a few factors that we can talk about here. Number one factor is, if you look at the housing market data over the last 7 to 8 elections, right? And you'll notice that every time a new president is elected, people have high hopes and there's positivity in the air. So usually what happens is, in those beginning months, starting December before the inauguration, a lot of homes start to come on the market because people believe the market's going to change. There's going to be more buyers in the market. So we saw that happen this year. When January came, a lot of homes hit the market. But demand slowed down significantly because there were so many changes coming at us. There was a lot of uncertainty, especially when it came to government layoffs and a lot of private sectors freezing hiring. And then you have the H-1B visa scare, which people don't know which way this is going to go. A lot of those folks that were a big chunk of people that buy homes in the Bay Area are H-1B visa folks that work in the tech industry. A lot of those folks are really holding back from buying. And then you had the stock market volatility, the tariffs. A lot of people's 401ks saw a decrease in value. So that definitely impacted the absorption rate of people that are actually absorbing these homes. That's why you see more homes for sale right now. Number two factor, we saw a surge of inventory in the months of March coming from a lot of sellers that once these events started happening, a lot of sellers that had made significant equity in the last 5 to 10 years started to think that, hey, all these changes are happening. Maybe we need to exit the market. We don't know which way the market's going to go. So more people started to put their homes on the market. Now, number three factor, which kind of ties into why there are more condos available this year than a lot of the previous years, that factor is interest rates. Interest rates have not dropped. As a matter of fact, they've gone up a tad bit. And when you have condos, especially in the city of Fremont and Hayward, that have an average HOA of $500 plus, that really makes housing unaffordable. So a lot of people are shying away from condos because of the high HOA fees and the high interest rates. Before I give you my concluding thoughts, I want to give you some things to chew on. The stock market dipped and recovered multiple times in the span of 3 months. Right when President Trump or the administration said something about tariffs, the market dipped. Right when they said, hey, we're going to pause these tariffs, immediately, like a day after, the market recovered. Now, I'm not an expert of the stock market, but I'll leave this to you. Do you think that is real, fake, inflated? I don't know. Something to think about. We usually average a recession a decade in this country. So if you looked at historical data, a lot of people are thinking, hey, we're due for a recession. It's been 12 to 14 years. We haven't seen a dip in the market. Is a recession on the horizon? Like I mentioned in most of my videos, predicting the market is a loser's game, but that is also at play here. A lot of people are thinking that we're headed that direction, but no one really knows what's gonna happen. Do recessions happen? Yes, they do. Do we rebound from recessions? Yes, we do. But predicting the recession is a very hard thing to do. We've also seen historically when there have been downturns in the economy and people have either hung on to their homes or have bought during those times, they have made significant equity when times got better. Real estate is a long time horizon game, guys. If you're looking to make a quick buck, or even thinking about the recent market surge that we saw in the pandemic where home prices surged 30%, we are not in that type of market. Will we ever be in that type of market? Maybe, but nobody knows. But if you're looking to make a quick buck, this is not the game to be in. Real estate is very different from the stock market. You have to think about it on a 10-year trajectory, on a long time horizon. During these times, I would suggest to stay alert. So if you are an active buyer looking to buy, run your numbers, get it pre-approved, know what those numbers are, look at your financials and see if you can afford the payment, because your payment's gonna be fixed for 30 years. And if the rates come down, you have the opportunity to refinance. You do have more choices right now in the market and possibly more negotiations coming on the horizon where some of these homes that sit on the market longer, you have the ability to talk to the selling party to lower the purchase price in some cases, not in all cases. And if you can afford it, go for it. Now, if you are a seller looking to sell your home, do not fall into the fear trap. No one can really predict what the future holds. Know the value and the worth of your home. Run your numbers, and if it makes sense, by all means, go for it. But please stay grounded and logical, because when there's fear in the air, you're gonna hear all kinds of stories coming at you from all different directions, and it's very, very important to stay grounded. That's all I have for today. Until next time, this is Karan Singh.